Hello everybody and welcome back to Drone Rich. Today we're going to be unboxing the JJRC H20 mini hexacopter. As you can see, I got the green edition. They also make some other colors. So let's open up the box for the JJRC H20. So you can see we got a USB charging cable right here. And here is the controller with the drone inside of it. I actually really like how the drone comes inside the controller. Makes portability on these mini drones a whole lot easier. So to open it, you just click this in right here and it opens and exposes the drone. Here is the JJRC H20 mini hexacopter. It's got a battery right here. You can buy spare batteries online. Let's put that back in the case. Looks like the propellers have to all be facing in a certain direction for it to be able to close. And there we go, it's all closed up. I like the feel of this controller. A lot better than those mini controllers that come with other mini drones. There's that, there's a charging cable. Here's the manual. Some more packaging. So here's the instruction manual that comes with the H20. So I'm going to read this real quick, and then we'll take it for a test flight. Hello everybody, and welcome to the test flight of the JJRC H20 mini drone. As you can see, I have the drone right here in the case. It's all charged up. I got batteries in here, and another thing I really like about this, you probably saw in the unboxing, but it actually has a spare battery right here, so I got that one all charged up as well. So when the battery in the drone runs out of battery, I can just switch it out that easily. And another thing, you can actually charge the batteries from the batteries on this. You can charge this battery by plugging it into that slot right there, and it actually takes the juice out of these batteries and puts it in this one. So if you don't have a wall outlet nearby, you don't need to fret because you have an actual charging input in the actual controller, which is amazing. And I also love how portable this thing is. You can just have it in the case like that. I absolutely love that. So opening up the case right here, we have the drone. Now to get the drone ready, we got to first off plug the battery in. There we go, and now once the battery is plugged in, we flip this little switch. You can barely see it, but you just flip that switch right there. And now it's on. You can see the LEDs are blinking. They're bright enough to be seen in broad daylight, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to hold the drone right here and take it off from here. So then you just hit the power button on the left-hand side, push the left stick up and down one time. Now that the drone and controller are paired, we just push up on the left stick to take it off. Alright, and because it's actually so windy outside, we're going to have to put this drone into high mode. And you can do that by simply pressing this top left button right here. There we go, now it's in high mode, so now hopefully it can keep up with these intense winds. Okay, you can barely battle this wind, but it is in fact battling it. There it is, you can see that little green dot. This thing is tiny and it has 6 propellers, which is actually amazing that a hexacopter can be this small. There we go, you can see it, and this bright green really helps. The sunlight reflects great off it. I haven't flown it at night yet, but I assume it'd be great with those nice bright LEDs on the bottom. But in the high mode, it is fast, and especially when I go with the wind. The wind's going right, left to right on the camera, and as you can see, if I go with the wind, the thing is incredibly fast. Now, this is actually medium mode. There is actually even a faster speed on this, believe it or not. Even though this is really fast for a little mini drone. And again, this thing is suited for indoor flight mostly, so we're not doing it justice by flying it outside. But here, let me see if I can fly it close to the camera here. There we go. Now I just want to show you, if you actually push this button again, if you actually push this button right here again, now it's in super high mode, which is insanely fast. Take a look at this. Now what's amazing on this is that's not just incredibly fast, but the yaw rate is just crazy. This thing looks like a helicopter just spinning. It looks like the blades of one. It's like, what is that thing? Take a look when I go, when I just push full yaw. Watch how fast this thing spins. Look at that. See how fast that's spinning right there? And you'll get a better reading on it when I cut to the indoor flight. Alright guys, so I'm going to actually cut to the indoor test flight of this drone so I can give you a little bit more of an in-depth look at all the features that this drone has to offer. Let's cut to the indoor test flight right now. Alright everybody, welcome to the indoor test flight of the JJRC H20 mini hexacopter drone. So outside it was a little bit choppy, really high winds, and it's a little bit too much for a little drone like this. Like, this drone's only $20 and it's meant for flying indoors. So we're gonna try flying this drone indoors and see how it does. Now let's take it for a test flight. Alright, the first thing I noticed with this drone is that it's incredibly easy to control and incredibly stable. Now that's because that it actually has 6 motors. The Hexacopter format, especially on a little drone like this, makes it incredibly stable. And as you can see, just rotating it around right there, it is incredibly stable in the air, especially here indoors where we have no wind at all. So this drone is pretty much the perfect mini drone to have indoors, especially for kids. This is a perfect drone. So the only downside really on this drone is that the flight time is only around 5 minutes. So it's not the longest flight time on a drone, but for a drone of this size, it's actually not too bad. Because I've flown a lot of these tiny wood quadcopters that only have a flight time of like 2 minutes. So 5 minutes, while it might not sound amazing, is actually not too bad for a drone of this size, especially since it has 6 propellers, which is really incredible for a drone of this size to have 6 propellers. And as you can see, it is pretty durable. I'm bouncing it off the wall there a little bit, and the drone is flying just fine. It's a very durable quadcopter, and it is actually pretty fast, surprisingly. I think I actually have it in one of the faster modes right here, and it is pretty fast in this high mode, but if just straight out of the box in low mode, it's also very good. And as you can see, flying around the room, really fun. Honestly, overall, a great drone. I highly recommend the JJRC H20 if you're looking for a mini hexacopter, or just a drone in general for indoor flight. It's honestly really well suited for indoor flight. I don't really recommend it for outdoor flight unless the conditions are right, but as you can see, indoors it's flying just fine. So this drone also actually has headless mode, meaning that whichever direction that the drone is pointing in, it'll go in the direction that I'm pushing the controller in, which to me, being an average drone pilot and used to the regular controls of drones, it is a little bit hard to get used to, but for beginners, it's almost an absolute must on the drone. And like I said, whichever way that the stick is pointing, the drone will actually go in regardless of the drone's direction. So that's headless mode. That's what this drone has as well, which is super cool. And overall, the JJRC H20 is an amazing drone. I love this carrying case too that you can bring. As you can see, this little piece on the carrying case broke off after a lot of transport. But I love that it has a little carrying case right there. And I also love that you can actually charge the drone directly in the controller. That's super cool. So I'm going to take this drone and fly just a little bit longer. As you can see, we've been flying for a few minutes here, and still quite a bit of battery on this drone, which is pretty surprising. Don't have as much power as when we started off, I can tell, but the drone is still flying fine, and we'll see how much longer we can fly this drone before the battery actually dies. But if you're in the market looking for a mini drone or a mini hexacopter, Alright, so we just hit the camera person right there with the drone, but as you can see, the drone's fine, the camera's fine, and let me continue flying it right here. And now I'm going to try actually doing a flip with this drone. Let's see how it handles flips. As you can see, it flips just fine, and to do the flip, you simply hit this button. Here, let me just land it real quick. You hit this button right here to do the flip, and then you point the right stick in which direction you want it to flip. As you can see, it does lose a fair bit of altitude when we do the flips, but it's still doing the flips nonetheless, which is all that we want. So let's see if we can do a flip without crashing into the ground. So as you can see, pretty much every time we do a flip, it actually does crash into the ground, but that's just something that you might want to note with this drone. As you can see, we're still flying good here. It almost feels as if we've been going for longer than 5 minutes. And I can tell that it's getting a little bit low on battery. As you can see, I'm giving it full throttle here, and it's hardly getting much off the ground. And as you can see, it'll start blinking when it does get to that low battery. And it looks like we are just about running out of battery here. Oh, it looks like we still got some. So it looks like we're just about out of battery. Let's just fly it until it runs out. So it looks like it's totally out of battery now. As you can see, the drone is blinking and we're giving it full throttle. and it is not going at all. But that is the battery life of the drone. You guys saw it in real time. I'm not quite sure exactly how long it was, but I think that it was around 5 minutes flight time, maybe even a little bit more, maybe a bit less, but around 5 minutes like advertised. And this drone actually came with 2 batteries, and I'm gonna put a link down below in the description where you can buy this exact drone. I highly recommend it if you are looking for a beginner drone, indoor drone. I don't like how the props are exposed, but I do think that they actually have prop guards for this drone. I'm not exactly sure. But the props being exposed can lead to a lot of broken props, but as you can see, I hit a lot of walls today, even hit the camera, and the props are still 100% fine, 100% intact, and they're not even bent, which is really surprising. A lot of these mini drones, I've bent so many props and broken so many, but this drone's props are completely fine. Overall, great drone, highly recommended. Again, link down below where you can buy this exact drone. Be sure to subscribe to Drone Rich for more drone reviews like this, and check out our written review of the JJRC H20, which we'll also put down in the description if you prefer to read the review, and plus we'll put some specs of this drone on the website as well, dronerich.com. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.